Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here. And with some of them, I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires. In giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal Law number 83. The law of the right to one's own space. This is an aspect of free will, but another law of its own. Everyone is entitled to make career decisions for self, decide the belief system one feels comfortable with, and generally create the life that will allow one to fulfill his or her own birth vision. This is the right to one's own space, the right to live one's own life, allowing for parental direction in the developing young person. Overprotective or controlling parents, friends, and even dictators have impeded this law and right since almost the inception of mankind.
I find it quite interesting that this law is here as a universal law for the third dimension, to be honest. And of course what we mean by that is that we're walking the earth path. But yeah, to have this law here just seems a little bizarre to me, but it does make sense, although I do believe it's somewhat idealistic. And if we look at when these laws were created, or brought, not when they were created, In fact, I would love to do an exercise of comparing these laws against the Vedic text, what they say. But anyway, from what I understand is these were first published for the Westerners in about the 1850s by Madame Blavatsky. Now, at that time, of course, work and work choices really would have been hugely problematic back then. There would have been no choices at all. You know, in the modern days, we kind of take employment based on our survival needs and not because we really have choices around the careers that we pick, and if you look to the third world countries, often, although I suspect this is probably changing as well, I don't think they would have many choices as well. Basically, they make a living off the land and the plants that are around them and convert them into useful and desirable objects. But realistically, in more recent times, shall we say, everybody's become really obsessed with the artificial, the plastic. They're not really into the quality products anymore that perhaps used to be made from wood that could be long lasting. Just these enduring products, they're just not around anymore. They're not used. Everybody wants this manufactured artificial thing. So I guess, yes, those people that would traditionally live off the land, they've had to relocate to be able to survive, just to generate income so that they can support themselves and their families. It becomes a case of needs must. So I'm not sure whether or not any of us really, we might have a right of work choices, but are we actually able to obtain that? I'm not 100% sure. At the same time, we do still have some choices about the type of work that we do. It might be that we decide to work with our hands. If you want to have a career in this day and age, you actually need to go back to uni and get an education. Many people can't afford it. So, I think this whole business of choice definitely is about power and empowerment. I know that about from university studies as well, that when we talk about disempowerment, we're often talking about the inability to have choices as well. But going back to the content of the law, I suspect what we're seeing here, especially when we look at the comments about parenting and friends and people having the right to a workspace, it could be that the insistence, I think it's less obvious in modern times, but obviously back in the old days it used to be a case of if there was a family business, the parents would be putting pressure on the child saying you've got to run the business when we pass over, or as soon as you finish school you've got to come and work on the property or the farm. And in fact, actually, if we go back to about the 1850s, it wasn't even a case of that. It was a case of, no, you can't go to school because I need you to work on the farm, because they didn't have money for the labour. I know that just by doing research on history. Dictators, of course, if we're talking about government leaders or, nations where you've got government bodies that find out what a person's skills are or whatever, they make decisions as well. We know this in a lot of these collective societies. It's a case of, no, this village is going to grow rice or this village is going to do X and Y, and that's just the way it is. So in essence, I do interpret this law as saying that we all should have the freedom to pick and choose how we're gainfully employed and to build a career and generate income in a way that supports our divine plan and the divine idea. But at the same time, frankly, perhaps that's a bit idealistic in this day or in these modern times. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave a comment as usual. In the meantime, I'm going to love you, leave you, and crack on with the next one. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.